So, originally, I wasn't going to make a video on this, especially because the subject of today's video, the temporary ban that I got, is going to be over by tomorrow night, and I'll be returning to streams on Friday. So it's not it's not that big of a deal. But I was thinking about it over the night. I should turn the sub goal off. Hold on. Okay. Anyway, I was thinking about it over the night, and the original reason I wasn't going to make this video is because I don't believe in poking the bear, right? I don't want to upset anyone at behavior and possibly suffer retaliations, but I also do not think that it is... I think that the implications of why I got banned is something that we need to discuss as a community. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you the story. Now, full disclosure, I don't know if the story I'm about to tell you is the actual reason for this ban. It is the only thing that me and my community can think of that fits the definition of what they are saying. And also, while we're doing this video, enjoy some Pinhead gameplay in the background from a few days ago. So, on your screen now, you should be seeing the screen cap of the ban, and you'll see that it says griefing intentional gameplay abuse as the reason. So what does this mean? According to behavior, griefing is things like sandbagging, holding the game hostage, and teaming. Now, teaming is the very important part there, because if you work with one survivor to get the other survivors killed, that is teaming. And technically, I did break this rule. Now, I'm not posting this to play the victim, as some people have accused me of on the community post, and I'm also not going to say that the ban was not right. If this is truly what they're talking about, then sure, I did break the rules. Should I be punished for it? That's up to you to decide. That's not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is how the teaming happened, the reason for it happening, and how a void of context is incredibly bad when handling stuff like this. And also, I have a few problems with the way behavior handles things like this that I have now firsthand experienced and that I'm going to talk about. So, what happened was, probably about a week ago, maybe more. I would have to go back and check my Skull Merchant games, because it happened on the 6th game of one of the Skull Merchant experiment days. But what happened was, there was a Renato who was basically just a rat. He never went for any saves. As far as I could tell, he really didn't do any generators either. I was actually confirmed by one of the survivors in that game after the fact that they never saw him on a generator. Now, the reason I'm saying confirmed and I don't think he did generators in the same sentence is because I play Survivor. Sometimes it seems like other survivors aren't on gens, but then you go back and you watch the VOD and they actually were doing gens. But you just never saw them because you were too busy getting tunneled or chased or whatever the case may be. But what I do know is that he never went for saves. And I know this because for the entirety of like 12 minutes, I never saw him one time. Anytime someone got unhooked, it was always one of the other 3 around that hooked area. So he never went for a save. Survivor said he never did gens. I never saw him on any gens. And by the time I had noticed this, 2 survivors were dead, and the last one, the Yui, was on her hook, and she had went all the way to 2nd stage. So I took it upon myself to go and let the Yui get the anti-face camp mechanic so she could get off the hook, so she could show me where this guy who wasn't helping his team was. And she went down in basement, she wiggled off, and then she showed me where he was, and I killed him, and then she BM'd him, and then I let her go. So yeah, technically, I broke the rules. I griefed a griefer. I found somebody who wasn't helping his team, decided to take it upon myself to make sure that he was not going to get out of the game, because I don't think you should be rewarded for fucking your team over. Was that wrong? Yes. Was it against the rules? Yes. Did I deserve the ban? Again, I'm going to leave that up to you. What I will tell you, however, is that after looking deeper into this, what this essentially means is that being nice to the survivors, giving a survivor hatch, letting the last survivor who drops their item on the ground for you go, farming even. If there is even one salty survivor in that game, they can report you and you can get banned for that. Because technically, allowing survivors to live is teaming. That is the implications. That is something that a lot of people do. A lot of killer mains do. I came across a killer, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago who always gets 2Ks. They say that they always kill 2 people and let 2 people go. That killer can technically be reported for teaming. They can technically be reported for letting people live. And that's a scary implication. That's a scary thought. That if you let a survivor live, or if you work with the survivors to let them live, somebody can technically report you and you can get banned for it. Now, obviously, my situation is not that exact same. Again, I had another survivor lead me directly to a survivor. So it's not the exact same, but it's the implications of what that means. Because no context can be provided. You can't appeal temporary bans. This is directly from the email from behavior that I got. You cannot appeal temporary bans because they have been manually reviewed, which means that context can be missing, but you have no say in the matter. If someone reports you for something and it gets manually reviewed and then behavior decides, yep, that person's going to get banned, you don't get the option to tell your side of the story. You don't get the option to try. But the worst part is, and this is the part I was talking about earlier, and this is why I'm not necessarily happy with the way they handle bans, is, again, I don't know. This is the only situation that me and my community can think of because I very rarely play this game offline, but this is what we can think of because I don't hold games hostage. I generally don't show mercy. That's a very rare occurrence. Most of the time I kill everybody I can kill with no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm not toxic. I don't talk shit in the in-game chat. I do not grief people. So that's the only thing that we can think of. So it's interesting to think about the fact that I have no idea if this is the right situation because behavior won't tell me. And they are very explicit about not telling you what happened, about not telling you what was going on. And that is more frustrating than I can ever tell you because now I don't have the option of saying, well, okay, if this was the situation, then I'll make sure that it never happens again. I know from now on, if I see a survivor purposely punishing their teammates by not doing jack of shit, I don't get the option to make sure that that survivor suffers. I don't get the option to make sure that that survivor is punished for punishing their team. I can't do that unless I get really lucky and find them. And I'm not always going to have Ultimate Weapon on hand. Ultimate Weapon's getting nerfed anyway, but I'm not always going to have stuff on hand to find rats. Especially not when they run fucking Calm Spirit Distortion Lightweight. So if you as a survivor are crouching in the far corner of the map and not helping your team at all, and you're just waiting for hatch to come up and hope you get it, that's perfectly fine. No one can do anything about that. But if you as the killer want to go out of your way to make sure that another survivor isn't punished for someone else fucking them over. Oh, what's that? You saw one survivor sandbagging another? Well, you have to kill them both equally. Can't give somebody a break. Oh, you saw a survivor standing AFK and decided to only kill them but not the other 3 because you didn't want to punish the other 3 for an AFK survivor? Oh, doesn't matter. You're teaming. You see what I'm saying here? Do you see how I'm saying how this unfurls a lot of situations? And it starts to make me wonder whether or not a lot of killers who are quote-unquote mean are actually mean and they're not just trying to avoid a ban. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe I'm blowing this out of proportion, but this is the implications that I'm getting from this situation. And again, I just don't really like the fact that you can just get one little line on a screen, and then you go to appeal, and then you basically get told, oh, that sucks, you can't appeal this, and then you're not given the situation, because I asked for the situation. I asked for what happened in my original appeal, and they did not tell me. All they told me was that it was manually reviewed, and that was it. So, again, technically, at the end of the day, yes. At the end of the day, yes, I broke the rules. At the end of the day, I broke the rules. Whether or not I deserve to be punished for that particular scenario is up to you. I really don't care how you see that. I just wanted to talk about the implications and the way behavior handles bans. And I will take my punishment in stride. I will take the fact that I lost my appeal in stride. I'll be back on Friday. It's not that big of a deal. But I think that behavior really needs to buckle down and be far more clear with the way that they're going to handle these situations. Because if killers cannot be nice to survivors, you're going to find a lot more problems cropping up in the future. And also, I do believe that you need to be far more transparent, and that situations that lead to bans need to be discussed. And by the way, too, I just want to make this clear. I have reported 2 different individuals over the past 2 weeks. One who told me to off myself, but he spelled it in a way that that didn't get caught by the censors. And another person who two people used a slur. One person put an N and the other person put IGGER. And I reported both of them with a screenshot, and I've heard nothing. I've heard nothing back from that. So I would really like to know how these are manually reviewed. I would really like to know what the priorities are. And I just want some transparency. I'm not trying to dog behavior. I'm not trying to go after them. I'm not trying to attack them. I just want them to understand that the way that they handle this needs to be improved for not only customer satisfaction, but for transparency as well. That's it. So, hope you guys, I can't, can I even say hope you guys enjoyed this video? It's not something to enjoy. It's, I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess I'll see you guys, for streams on Friday. Videos are still going to be daily uploaded. I already have, I schedule those weeks in advance. So don't think that like videos aren't coming out or anything. You guys are still going to get another video tomorrow, but, I just wanted to talk about this. So have a good night. And I will see you guys, I'll see you guys here on the YouTube tomorrow, but I'll see you guys on stream on Friday.